What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Well, another weekly update, I should say. We got one of these bad boys a week, dropped every single Sunday, so don't miss out. All right, so with that being said, let's get right into the charts. Before we start, I'm going to tell you guys, hey guys, the first Twitter update is now out. Go check it out. It's a long thread, but holy cow, is it detailed. We're chilling. Now, I did forget to add the economic data that we have coming out in this coming week. So I'm going to mention that right now. We have PMI coming out on Monday, and then we have PPI coming out on Friday. We have initial jobless claims coming out on Thursday, and I think we have the UMich sentiment survey on Friday as well. Those are the catalysts that I believe can act as a catalyst to move the market. All right, or act strong enough as a strong enough catalyst to move the market. All right. So with that being said, let's get right into the charts. We're going to start off with SPX, and we are just going to look at what is taking place here. You got your perfect rejection off of your trend line up there. Let's look at the weekly time frame. What is going on? All right, so let me switch over there. As you see, you do have your oscillators back up here. You have your stochastic all the way back up here, just like we were over here before we had I believe it was a 19% sell-off. And I do believe something is in the cards similar to that scenario that we had over there. Yeah, 19% sell-off last time we tapped this trend line. The time before we tapped this trend line, well, actually pretty much formed this trend line, we had a 21% sell-off right there. And if we do have a 21, if we have, we'll just say a 20% sell-off right here. You know what? We'll go down. All right. So now we'll say we have a 17% sell-off. All right, that would bring us right to about, oh, wow, right about 2-hour gap fill over here. And I don't have it labeled on SPX, but I do have it on SPY. Good thing we were switching over to SPY anyway. Wait, first thing is first, let's just look at, you do have your bearish divergence forming here on SPX. And then let's look at the 4-hour charts for SPX so we don't have to look at it again. Come over here to your 4-hour charts, and you do also have a bearish divergence that looks like it is in the works. And that would come if we do end up breaking that trend line on Monday and then having a likely we have a fade out move that will come back down. I don't think any push. I don't think it's going to be sustained, guys. We've gotten a lot of rejection already off of that trend line. And I've mentioned it several times now in the past 3 videos, I believe, maybe 4. We are in the golden pocket. We're at the 200 MA. We're at the trend line, and we just filled our gap on SPY at 408.46, which was right here. All right. Now, that is 4 key resistance levels that all could have alone provided a reversal point. Up here, all we had is the 200 MA in the trend line. Well, now we have 4 factors of resistance, 4 key factors of resistance here. At the same time as we have a bearish divergence here on your CCI over here on SPY, and then you come over to QQQ. Yeah. Oh, and actually, while we're here, I do want to point out how, like, we are just so high up here on our RSI, and the meaningful sell-offs, guys, they've occurred when we are high up here on ourselves. We had this November one. That's when the downfall started. All right. Well, I will say you ended up going up higher there, and you didn't end up coming back up here on your RSI. But that is when it started. All right. And then you have over here in August, that is the other time we reached overbought levels, the 70 on the RSI. And I will say we're not up there, which is why, like, hey guys, maybe we do end up going up for another day. I have no idea, but I will tell you guys right now, I will be taking advantage of that. I told you guys, I only plan on having 2 entries on my puts, but given this opportunity, I will be adding a third entry on these puts. And I will only be buying the QQ 285 January 20 puts. All right. I don't know the price of those. I'm guessing they are $500, $600 off the top of my head. But that is what I will be entering. And I say January 20 because December 30, they're under 30 days. And I personally don't want to play any options that are under 30 days. I like having 1 to 2 months. That's enough to catch a decent chunk of these moves. And yeah, I do believe we are right at the top. So I do believe, yeah, we're catching like most of the start of that move. And then we'll be able to have opportunities like this where we can enter again. All right, guys. So let's switch over to SPY. Let's go to QQQ. You got another 4-hour bearish divergence, or not 4-hour. You have a daily bearish divergence right there on QQQ. And my next entry here, by the way, my next short entry is going to be if we come up here and we tap this on QQQ. Now, I don't know if we are going to get that gap up. I have no idea. That is a pretty significant move. That's like an $8 move right there. But anything is possible. You guys saw what happened here where we went from 280 all the way up to 293. That's a $13 move, right? So if we get half that move, we can end up coming pretty close to this bad boy. And you also have your 200 MA there. And then above that, you have your 308 gap. So like some people said that I was going to be getting a wake-up call. If you're in the audience right now, I'm telling you right now, I am not going to be the one getting the wake-up call. I can like literally promise I will not be the one getting the wake-up call. And that's not my emotion saying that. That's like, hey guys, I waited 2 to 3 weeks for this perfect setup. Do you guys see this? All right. Do you guys see this? We called it out down here. All right. Do you guys see what has happened? We literally ran straight up to the most perfect short entry possible that we got last time. We got the time before that. Like straight up, guys, this is it. All right, like there's no fucking around up here. This is it. And if you don't have the balls to pull the trigger because you think you're getting trapped, all right, like that's just on you. All right, you weren't patient. And like the people who were saying that I was gonna get the wake up call because we're gonna break through this thing, I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, I want you to literally look at yourself in the mirror. All right, from October 22nd. All right, we're just gonna look at how many trading sessions you have pretty much gone straight up. All right, that's 35 bars. Okay, 35 plus 2. Okay, so now you have 4 weeks, so 4 to 8 days. So you're looking at 43 days, a month and a half. You've gone straight up. All right, you've gone straight up a month and a half. What happened last time? You had a very similar scenario, and I mean, I guess we could count this fluff over here as this, so it would be more like this. All right, and again, all right, we are overextended on every single index. Okay, even if you do end up breaking past this key resistance, you're still going to be in your golden pocket here. And what do you have on QQQ? You have 3 more key resistances, like straight up. What bull is looking at this? And this isn't me complaining. This is telling like anybody who is trying to shit on me in the comments. Well, not even shit on me, just like, hey, maybe you thought you were doing me good. All right, maybe you thought like, hey, I'm going to warn this guy because I know better. I'm going to tell you right now, if you thought you knew better, I'm going to tell you for a fact you don't know better. All right. And this video should very much show out in the open, show anybody why, like, there's nothing to be bullish about up here. There's not. And it's not a bias saying that. I will be bullish when the charts are bullish. I have no bearish bias. I can't wait to play the short squeeze. You know why? Because so much more money is going to be made than what's going to be made on this downside. You think I give a shit? All right, you think I only want to play one way? No, dude, we're a trader. We plan on Henry Trader here. All right, or Trader Henry. I plan on catching every move, and I plan on telling you guys about every move. But like, just letting you know, like the people you saw commenting, they most likely didn't watch the video because they were too stubborn to look at every single bearish factor. There were no bullish factors. All right, there's one. There is one bullish factor, and that gives us an 85% probability of having an update on the S&P 500 over the next 2 trading sessions. And that is because VIX closed red with SPY, which means, and all that means, guys, this, I'm going to explain the psychology of the signal right now. So VIX goes up when puts are bought and calls are sold. It goes down when calls are bought and puts are sold. All right. So if VIX is going up, and by the way, even though like SPY was down, we should be up on the VIX because, hey guys, you know, we gapped down and like, you know, VIX should have at least like skyrocketed. But all I'm saying right now is like, hey guys, this is directly showing us someone is selling the rally. Someone is selling calls into the rally and buying puts. That's all. Or no, wait, hang on. I got my signals mixed up there. All right, I got my signals mixed up. All right, but all this means is that someone is buying calls and selling puts into the sell-off. All right, that's why I said I got my signals mixed up. That is exactly what it means. All right, but the first one I just described, that's when VIX is up, when SPY is up as well. And if you have both of these closing up together, SPY and VIX, or VIX and SPX, that's when you get your sell signal on the S&P 500. You get your buy signal on the VIX because it shows that people are loading calls or loading puts while the S&P 500 is going up. All right, so right now we have the opposite signal. That is the only bullish factor, and that's why I say, hey guys, it is possible that on Monday we do end up coming up and break the trend line on SPX and SPY. But again, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we already hit our peak. All right, maybe that 85% probability doesn't have to play out. It played out the last time it popped up, but who knows? All right, who knows? All right, so moving on, let's look at IWM. IWM did end up coming up. IWM is the only one that didn't end up forming another point of divergence, which makes me believe we are going to go up and form another point of divergence. And that would mean we would have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a quintuple bearish divergence on IWM if we do end up having one more day of running up and going up. All right, and, you know, forming that extra bearish divergence. Now, switching over to DIA, we have the same exact thing. We have a quintuple bearish divergence here on the CCI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of divergence, guys. You started making this all the way back here at this candlestick. Was this at this candlestick? Oh, all the way back here at this candlestick is when your CCI started hinging the other way. Clear as day, guys. You are not going up. All right, so that's, and guys, do not take this as me complaining. Not complaining. I just need everyone to know, like, I need there not to be the possibility of, like, you know, permabolts commenting in the comment section and me not know. Like, I need to know if they're commenting that they didn't watch the video. That's what I need to know. All right, so it needs to be very freaking clear. All right, we're not simple stocks anymore, so I'm sorry, that's not the motto. Okay, we don't make everything, well, I mean, everything's still going to be simple, but you know, I'm not going to pump this other guy's stock over there with my Weeble updates and now the new Twitter updates, guys. Go check that out. Let me know. Give me some feedback on how that is looking, because I did my best to start that thread, and I do think it turned out rather well. And this is just the way, hey, guys, if you do want that written update, now you don't need to go over to Weeble. You don't need to, you know, go make a Weeble account and go do that. You can just have my Twitter updates. And also, this is a way that I can connect with you guys and honestly connect with the whole Twitter space. I do believe this is going to blow the socials up pretty quick, but so far it has gotten no attention. So we will see. We will have to see. It's probably going to be like after like a few weeks. That's when people are really going to start like noticing, like, hey, this guy's here every single day in these on these tickers pages. We should probably give them a follow and see what's going on. And then they see what's going on, and then it's like, oh shit, tell your friends, tell your wives, tell your kids. All right, so that's the plan. But yeah, did we go over the week? I think we went over the weekly time frame. I think we started that off since this is a weekly update. But yeah, you're making a cycle high here on SPY. You're making a cycle high. Well, you're not even close on QQ. But the real bread and butter of this setup is DIA. All right, and I want to throw out a theory right now, all right? Because like maybe this is the only one that like meaningfully broke out of its trend line and like, you know, just kept going. IWM did break out, so there is also a thing there. We're gonna have to be watching IWM. And we'll talk about DXY in the end. But DIA, all right, DIA broke out of its trend line, and there's a Dow theory sell signal going on right now between this and the transports. I want to point out, since this one was the first one to break out, and SPY clearly isn't breaking out, QQ clearly isn't breaking out, and I understand IWM does, but IWM is the runt of the litter, and I don't really care about it too much. But I mean, it's also something we could look at. So maybe it's going to happen like this at the same time. Is Dow going to go down and make a higher high? Since it was the only one to come up and make a higher high, will it make the higher low? I should have said higher low. I meant to say higher low at first. But since it was the only one to come up and pass its previous high, making that higher high here, are we going to see the trend change with Dow and not SPX? All right, so are we going to be, or SPY, which is also SPX, are we going to be able to literally look at this bad boy right here, look at this SPY, come down, make a lower low, maybe bounce off of this, maybe bounce off of this bad boy right here? I do think it's going to be in this zone down here, right here. All right, we can leave that up. I do believe we are going to be coming back down into that zone, and that is where we're gonna end up probably finding a bottom there. No, I mean, we can lose that, but I don't think we're going to be able to make our way down there. Okay, guys, things don't come up, they don't go up in a straight line, and they don't come down in a straight line. And actually, something I realized the other day is I was like wondering, why does it constantly get overextended? Why does it constantly you know, give people the best possible entries and exits as long as they have patience? And this is how, or this is why. All right, because once you know, you know. All right, once you know, and big money knows. All right, big money knows, which means they need to fool everybody else, which is a perfect way. All right, making everything go super overextended and super overextended to the downside. All right, it's a perfect way for the dealers to trick the people who don't know. That's what I realized. They do it this way. Like, as you can see, let's look at SPY, all right? Everyone was expecting us to reverse off this trend line. We did, but also there were probably people like me who got in a little earlier at the 200 MA. Either way, like, I also was ready to start buying in. I actually did start buying in over here, then took profits over here, then luckily got out over there. But there probably were more people who didn't take profits, and dealers were able to take their money, all right? And that's because, like, hey, look at how overextended this thing has been forming for so long. Look at DIA, quintuple. We didn't have that over here. We haven't had that the whole time. We didn't even have that over here in November. All right, holy mess, that is a mess. But straight up, guys, like, it has been so overextended that people are getting anxious. The shorts, even though they're in the exact right spot. I know we're in the exact right spot. We are very much so, like, right at the top. All right, like, we are either going to go slightly above that trend line, reverse, or we have hit our top, and I'm ready for it. All right, I'm fully established in that put position. I'm willing to add more. I told you what I'm going to be adding. QQ 285 on January 20 expiration, just because, hey, the December 30s are now under a month. I'm not going to buy more of them. I'd rather have that peace of mind and just catch these swings than, you know, like, make big bucks in one. Like, there's just no reason to. I just want that 100%. I'll take profits. Oh, get back in, get another 100%. I don't care. But that's the move. That's the move. But yeah, guys, it's so overextended just to drag in the people who don't know. All right, the people don't know. Those are the money that the big money constantly takes and fuels their pockets with. They line the pot, and that's me. All right, guys, I'm gonna be part of big money. I hope several of you. I hope most of you are part of big money. I hope all of you are, but clearly, like, that's just not how statistics work. All right, like, it's just we can't all be a part of big money. It's just not going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, if you guys got the drive, if you guys share the drive that I have, like, there's a very, very high probability that you will keep going until you have big money in there. Guys, all I want to do is I want to be able to pump a small cap, right? I really don't want to be able to, I want to be able to pump a small cap. I don't want to say I want to, but like, hey, Mara, guys, I'm going to be a Mara whale. I told you guys, like, probably 4 or 5 months ago, I'm going to be a Mara whale. That's my goal. All right. Well, not specifically that, but, you know, I'm going to have enough money to where, yeah, I'm going to keep swing trading Mara when the time is right. And, like, hey, I'm going to be actually moving that stock, and I'm hyped about it. All right. I'm hyped. But yeah, guys, the reason we overextend so far is just because once you know, and you have your oscillators and your indicators telling you, like, hey, this is about to take place. But the people don't know, those are the people who are providing these squeezes. All right. So, like, it all works together. It all happens for a reason is what I'm getting at, which is why, guys, patience really has to be our best friend. All right. Like, without patience, we're not going to survive this game. All right. Like, what we did here, straight up, this is probably the best possible entry we've gotten this whole bear market. All right. And I understand I only started making videos like over here, so we've really only caught in that move and that move and that move. All right. But well, I will say right now, I didn't catch this move. I played calls several times, but I blindsided the crap out of myself. And that's just, guys, that's just what the bear market does. All right. Straight up. Even, like, I'm not going to say I'm the most experienced trader, but even the people who come on and are obsessed with this and do this every single day and watch charts every single day, it tricked me. All right. It got to my head. All right. That we are about to fall off a cliff, because, you know, a crash happens only when indicators are all at the most oversold levels. So I was like, holy crap, it's it. Well, I'm here to tell you guys, like, hey, it's probable that it's not going to be happening until or at least early 2023. I think it's going to be mid 2023, and this is why. All right, we have a bullish divergence here on QQQ. We have not a bullish divergence on SPY, but let's see what's going on DIA. Do we have the same thing? No, we do not. But you have DXY over here on your monthly time frame coming down, which that's actually something we have to look at the weekly and daily chart. You have IWM with the bullish divergence, all right, which I do think you're about to come back down, and you're probably going to come form a bullish divergence here on SPY. You're probably going to make a new low, come down into the zone, either bouncing here at this gap fill or bouncing there. Here at this gap fill, by the way, that is the right before COVID. That's right where we started selling off. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen right there. But yeah, guys, the monthly charts suggest that, hey, you're about to get a massive rip, a sick, nasty rip. And, like, guys, the way I look at these time frames is like, yeah, they all function off the same thing, all right? But they all tell you what's going to be happening on a different scale of time. And the daily and weekly time frame, they're suggesting we're going to be coming down. But hey, we're going to be coming down strictly to form that bullish divergence here on our monthly CCI. and our monthly oscillators, which then is going to give us so many freaking gains. Imagine buying 3-month calls right here and getting to ride that move. All right. That's stress-free living right there. And keep in mind, you made, like, we'll just say you 3 extra money on this move, even though, like, yeah, we'll be probably doing some more. But straight up, let's say you 3 extra money, you brought $10,000 to $30,000. Well, now 30,000 turns into close to $100,000 just on that rip, just by buying those 3-month contracts and literally sitting on your hands doing absolutely nothing. And I do think it's going to be one hell of a short squeeze, just like we got down here when our monthly CCI came down into this sold region down here. Stochastic, clearly, like, we're even more oversold in the monthly time frame than we were over here in COVID. We're over here in the 2018 crash. All of these since 2008 and 2009, I do think we are personally going to get one sick, nasty rip. I don't know how big that rip is going to be, but I do think it's going to happen. But also keep in mind, the crash scenario, guys, is still here. We're probably right here in terms of where we are in relation to 2008. Which, let's just see, what percent run did you actually go on? I think you had like a 20, yeah, 14% run. I mean, that would be fine, but like either way, I think it's going to be bigger. And we're gonna have to see what the PPI says, in the PMI. But all in all, guys, I think we're seeing oil come down, and I do think there are just factors suggesting, like, hey, the market can get hyped about things, and then things can, like, cool off. They'll be less aggressive, and then boom, I told you guys what would happen if they cool off too early. I was talking about it for so long. And straight up, if they cool off too early, they risk things getting bad and going back to exactly where we were trying to stop the whole time. So, like, maybe we go on a few month rally down here, and then maybe, like, hey, they stopped doing things, so, like, shit got bad again. Inflation's on the rise again. Just like we had that one inflection point, and we got that August rally. We got this rally over here, and then boom, inflation started ticking back up, and boom, charts predict the news again. I personally think that's going to be the case. All right. So with that being said, I think that helped everybody out. I think that is that pretty much covers every single fact on the table where we're going. I did not mention DXY. DXY on the weekly time frame is all the way down here. Where on the daily, it is up here with a bullish divergence. Just like when we started selling off, weekly was up there. I think DXY is about to rip. So, DXY goes up, VIX goes up, the market goes down. All right, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin does have that weekly bullish divergence, but I do think we're going to be coming down. And look at that. Your daily CCI agrees. Your oscillators agree with what we got going on the indices, that's going to be something very pretty. That's going to be sexy to play, and I am hyped. Now, even though Mara has that, I do think we're going to be going down. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next update, which will be tomorrow. Peace.